Dear friends, we have started transfer pricing provision. Now we are discussing the definition of associate enterprise, which is one of the most important definitions. So please mark it important. So why is it important? Before you can answer any question where arm's length price is going to be computed, the first principle is to define whether it is an associate enterprise or not. So this is by default step. You have to write a para in your answer highlighting why so-called enterprises are associate enterprises, and definition of associate enterprises or related party in your ordinary term is basically focus on one particular word, and that is control. Okay, if one entity directly or indirectly controls another entity, then obviously they are having power to influence the prices. That is going to happen. Whatever transaction is going to happen between these two entities, there is a possibility to influence the transaction, because either this entity controls Indian entity, or Indian entity controls the foreign entity, or somebody else is controlling both of the entities. Whatever control is there, and because control is there, prices can be influenced for goods and services exchange in intergroup transactions. Okay, let's look at this. An enterprise which participate directly or indirectly, okay, through one or more intermediaries in a management of other enterprises, or control the other enterprises or capital of the other enterprises. So please understand, directly or indirectly you are engaging into management activity. In such a case, we will obviously consider you as an associate enterprise, because you are controlling directly management, you are controlling the brain of the organization. When you are controlling the brain of the organization, you can definitely execute any prices that you want. Look at the example where A Limited directly participate in the management of the B Limited, and the B Limited directly participate in the management of the C Limited. In such a case, in such a situation, A Limited has a direct participation in the management of B Limited, because A directly controls B and B controls C. Okay, so A indirectly controls C. You understand? Grandfather controls father, father controls you, so grandfather indirectly controls you. So you can understand the three steps. This is the holding company, this is the subsidiary company, this is subsidiary of the subsidiary company. That can also be the example. If holding company control the subsidiary company, a subsidiary company control the subsidiary of the subsidiary company, then holding company indirectly control the subsidiary company. Okay, so in this scenario, A, B and C, all three will be called as associate enterprises. If one or more person participate directly or indirectly through one or more intermediaries in a management of two different enterprises, or control two different enterprises, or capital of two enterprises, then those two enterprises are associate enterprise. So what is the example? A has control in A Limited. Mr. A has control in A Limited and B Limited. So Mr. A is having control in two companies, A Limited and B Limited. Okay, now AB directly they don't do any transaction with each other, but because their father is common, because the person who controls both the entities are common, these two are also called as associate enterprises. Please understand that in such a scenario, both A Limited, B Limited are associate enterprises, since there is a common person, that is Mr. A, who controls both the companies. Okay, two enterprises are deemed to be associate enterprises if they fall in one of the situation contained in section 92A subsection 2. So this was the general definition of associate enterprises. Now let us look at the specific situation given by them to clarify that okay, these are the definitely associate enterprises, so there should not be any dispute. Okay, look at those notified transaction. Enterprise ownership. First of all, most important, whenever we talk about holding and subsidiary, you think about 51%, isn't it? Or whenever we talk about substantial interest in income tax law, you think about 20%. In transfer pricing provision, we neither have the criteria of 51% nor 20%. We are having equity criteria of 26%. Please understand, this is very important. So why 26% is important? So if you have the common understanding of company's law, to pass a special resolution, please understand, to pass a special resolution in company, you need to have 75% of the majority. If some shareholder is there who is holding the 26% of the organization, so other members are holding only 74% of the organization, you can understand all the people, if they come together, they can't pass the special resolution without this particular person who alone holds 26%. Therefore, we say in transfer pricing provision, the control mechanism will be checked at 26%, because if you hold 26% of any entity, you can definitely exercise some kind of control influence in that entity. Okay. One enterprise holds 26% or more voting power directly or indirectly in other enterprise. Example very simple. A holds 33% of voting power of B Limited and B Limited 80% voting power of C Limited. So obviously A and B are associate enterprises, B and C are associate enterprises, and because A influence B and B is controlling C, A and C can also be associate enterprises. In above situation, A Limited hold 26% or more power in B Limited directly and C Limited indirectly. Okay, so these are associate enterprises or deemed to be associate enterprises. Substantial voting power in two entities by the common person. We have already discussed the situation of the common person. Now, one particular person is controlling two entities. So, when one person is controlling both the entities, though these entities X and Y does not have any control in each other, but because there is a common control above them, so he is a father kind of, you understand. A father can control son 1 as also son 2, because both are related to the common father, common controller. A controls X Limited, A controls Y Limited. So, definitely A and X are associate enterprises, A and Y are also associate enterprises, and X and Y are also definitely associate enterprises. Advance of substantial sum of money. Now, do you give loan to somebody else in nowadays? Answer is no. And if you have given loan to your any entity, you don't have equity in another company, but you are having debt. Okay, now we are talking about debt criteria. Equity criteria 26%. Debt criteria we have to discuss here 51%. Please understand, if this is a balance sheet of the another company and more than 51% of the book value of total asset, so we have to check the asset side. If asset side is 100 crore, and you have given loan to this particular entity, your entity is A Limited. Okay, A Limited has given loan to the tune of 60 crore to this entity. So you can easily see 60% of total asset value. So that much amount of substantial loan was given by you to this particular company. So obviously you both are associate enterprises, because you definitely can have some kind of control over other entity. So book value of total asset of Y Limited is 100 crore and X Limited have advances 60 crore to Y Limited. So they are associate enterprises. So what you should learn the percentage. For equity criteria 26%, for loan or debt criteria 51% of total asset. Okay. Guaranteeing. In nowadays, nobody takes guarantee for another person unless and until there is a strong relationship between them. So we say whenever you guarantee a loan taken by some other entity, it is a corporate guarantee given by you, that if other entity defaults, then you guarantor will be personally liable to the tune of that particular loan. If you are giving a guarantee of 10% or more, then definitely you are associate enterprises. So for guarantee, you should understand the percentage is 10%. So for equity 26%, for debt it is 51%, for guarantee of loan it is only 10%. Even a 10% of guarantee will make you associate enterprises, because you never take guarantee for any random organization in a corporate world. PINC has a total loan of $1 million from XYZ Bank of America. Out of that, A Limited, an Indian company, guarantees 20%. Definitely it is more than 10%. Then A Limited and PINC are associate enterprises. Appointment of majority directors. The company is always managed by the BODs, and majority of the directors means if there are 5 directors in the organization, 3 out of 5 are appointed by you. So you are having authority to appoint 3 directors or 1 managing director who is the boss of all these directors. Then definitely you are having directly or indirectly control over that organization. Therefore, you are associate enterprises. So one enterprise appoints more than half of the board of directors of the governing board, or one or more executive directors or executive member. Okay, so for either majority small directors or one big directors or executive director, you can remember. X Limited has 15 directors on its board. Out of that, Y Limited has appointed 8 directors. Obviously, they don't have equity of 26%. No, they don't have. They don't have loan of 51%. No. They don't have guarantee of 10%. No. But they are having majority directors in the organization. So they are associate enterprise. Okay. Appointment of majority directors of 2 different enterprises by the same person. Now I'm not going to read this. You know that the same is a same point, only common control. Okay. Common control. If A appointing director in B and A appointing director in C, so C and B are related party, they are associate enterprises. Dependency on intangibles. My business is completely dependent on your intangibles. I am iPhone manufacturer in India. Unless and until you give me your intangibles, that means your intellectual property right to manufacture the such product in India, I'm not going to do anything. Therefore, if my dependency is on you, you can influence the prices definitely. Okay. The manufacturing or processing of the goods or article of a business carried out by one enterprise is wholly dependent on the know-how or patent or copyright or trademark or license or franchise or any other business or commercial right of a similar nature, or any data, documentation, drawing, specification relating to the patent, invention, model, design, secret formula, processes of the other entity, the owner and in respect of which the other entity has exclusive right. So please understand, if somebody is having exclusive right over my intangibles, so if they stop supplying IPR to me, my business will be closed down. Definitely you are associate enterprises. So telco manufacturers Mercedes cars in India using the know-how Mercedes Germany. So Mercedes in this telco and Mercedes Germany are associate enterprises. Dependency on intangibles which other enterprises have exclusive right. No, this is the wrong, this is the repetition. Dependency on raw material. If my organization is depending on raw material for 90% or more, please understand, if you tomorrow deny to supply me the raw material, I'm not going to have any product in my hand. You are JSW and I manufacture some steel utensils, okay, or steel product. Please understand, majority of my raw material are supplied by you. So JSW and this manufacturer, steel product manufacturer, are associate enterprises. You can also consider this at a global level. Okay. So 90% of raw material. A Limited USA supply the raw material and consumables of 92 crore to the B Limited. In India, the total raw material and consumables are used 100 crore. So out of 100 crore, 92 crore is supplied by A Limited USA. Obviously, A Limited and B Limited are associate enterprises. Okay. This can happen at domestic level also. Right now, we are talking about international law. Therefore, all the examples are focused on international law. Okay. Sir, so for equity, we are having 21%, 26%. For equity, we are having 26%. For loan, we are having 51%. For guarantee, we are having 10%. For raw material, we are having 90%. These are the 4 important percentage of section 92A. At least you should know this much. Balance other thing, common control and majority directors, you will not forget. But you may get confused in this percentile. So you should remember it very clearly. Equity 26, loan 51, guarantee 10, and for raw material it is 90%. Dependence on sale. If Reebok USA is supplying shoes to Reebok India, and at what price Reebok India should sell the product in Indian market is determined not by Reebok India but Reebok USA. Obviously, these 2 companies are associate enterprises. Somebody can control my selling price, then they can control everything, and therefore you are associate enterprise. Look at this. The goods or article manufactured or processed by one enterprises are sold to the other enterprises to the specified by the to the other enterprises, and the prices and other conditions relating thereto are influenced by such other enterprise. Obviously, if you can control my price and sale condition, then you are controlling me. X Limited in India sells goods manufactured to it by it to Y Limited in USA. Then X Limited and Y Limited are associate enterprises provided that the prices and other conditions relating to supply of the goods are influenced by Y Limited. Okay. Control by a common individual. Common individual is controlling the entity, where one enterprise is controlled by individual, another enterprise controlled by the such is also such individual or his relative. So one company is controlled by me and another company is controlled by my spouse. Okay. So though these companies are not having any direct control, but these two are relative to each other, definitely it will be a associate enterprises. Mr. A and Mr. B are relatives. Mr. A control X Limited and Mr. B control Y Limited. Therefore, X Limited and Y Limited are associate enterprises. Controlled by HUF or member thereof. So where the enterprise is controlled by HUF and the other enterprise is controlled by the member of such HUF or relative of that member jointly, obviously then it will be common control. Example, one HUF and then member of HUF or relative of member control A Limited and other member control B Limited. A Limited and B Limited are associate enterprises. Interest in firm AOP and BOI, where one enterprise is a firm AOP and BOI and the other enterprise holds 10% or more interest in the firm AOP BOI. That means their profit sharing or the ownership control is 10% or more in this enterprise, then there will be associate enterprises. Mutual interest relationship. There exists benefit of two enterprise, any relation of mutual interest as may be prescribed. So they will prescribe. To give you an example, Intel which manufactures only a processor of the laptop, and then HP manufactures the laptop. Now HP is interested into Intel and Intel is interested into HP. There is a mutual interest. Please understand, it's not that one company is interested in another company. If Intel develops a faster processor, higher value processor, the laptop price of HP will go up, and the Intel cannot sell this processor to anybody else other than the laptop manufacturers. So obviously the sales of the both entity or business of the both entity or growth of the both entities are dependent on mutual interest. So if they are mutually engaged, there can be a relationship of associate enterprise, but that cannot be blindly declared like this. So they will prescribe certain rules, parameters, and according to that we have to apply those rules in the industry. Thank you.